These dudes cut my stream. These dudes cut my stream. YouTube cut my stream because I was exposing them. So basically, I was talking about Warner Brothers wanting to keep Ezra Miller. Now, this is what I was reading what Ray Fisher basically talked about. They were discriminatory to him. So basically, prior to the Justice League reshoots of 2017, racially discriminatory conversations were had and entertained on multiple occasions by Warner Brothers Pictures executives Toby Emmerich, Geoff Johns, and John Berg. Had I been aware of those conversations in real time, I would have addressed them in real time. However, it wasn't until the summer of 2020 that individuals who were in those meetings felt comfortable sharing with me what they had witnessed firsthand. When it comes to matters involving race, I always try to give the benefit of the doubt to those who may be ignorant of their own biases. But when you have studio executives, particularly Geoff Johns, saying we can't have an angry black man at the center of the movie, and then those executives use their power to reduce and remove all black people from that movie, they are no longer entitled to any benefit associated with doubt. Toby, Geoff, and John were not ignorant of their biases. They understood full well that the racist rhetoric they chose to entertain in those meetings was offensive, discriminatory, and unacceptable. Furthermore, they dared not speak those things to me nor any other black person associated with the film. Instead, they chose the cowardly route of gaslighting, complete with extremely problematic requests such as asking me to play Cyborg like Quasimodo and forcing a scene to be reshot so they could highlight the existence of Cyborg's penis. Unfortunately, those were just some of the issues. We now know that the leadership at Warner Brothers Pictures lied to the cast and crew of Justice League and to the world about Zack Snyder picking Joss Whedon to finish the film. The truth will continue to reveal itself, and as it does, there will likely be attempts to shift blame completely onto Kevin Suihara and Joss Whedon. But make no mistake, Geoff Johns worked intimately with Josh to overhaul the entire Justice League script. And while Geoff was not credited as a co-writer of the film, he was certainly an enforcer of the race-based discrimination that occurred during his conversations with Toby and John. Zack Snyder's Justice League stands as proof of and opposition to that discrimination. I am indebted to the participants of the Justice League investigation. They have put themselves at great risk to share the truth. I owe it to them. I owe it to my peers in this industry, and I owe it to all black people to stay the course. Onward, gratefully, Ray Ace greater than EPS. Walter Hamada owes an apology to all the participants of the Justice League investigation, and he quoted Coretta Scott King by saying, "It doesn't matter how strong your opinions are. If you don't use your power for positive change, you are indeed part of the problem." Now, why did they cut my video? You see this? Look at this. Why would they cut my video? They just cut my video while I was reading. And I'm going to show you. Hold on. I'm going to show you guys. And this goes to LB, who keeps saying they're not sabotaging my page. When I told LB, they are. You got to get out of that. You got to get out of the matrix, my G. The matrix has your head all covered up. So here it is right here. Okay, we live in with your boy. Hold on, you saw that skip there? That's how you know they're messing with my video. Okay, we live. Okay. Welcome to HDTV. You're now rocking with your Now they let boy. It play. So, yeah, guys, it's official. It seems like Warner Brothers Discovery is going to keep Ezra Miller. And this is crazy. It seems like I'm going to read the article in a minute. Give me a second. I just got to share this because nobody's going to basically get it if I don't share. What if we could? Just got to share it. Okay. Double standard. Like if this was they were going to on Ezra Miller, it's got to share this because nobody's going to basically get it if I don't share. What if we could? Just got to share it. Give me a second, guys. I'm finna read the article, but it seems like Ezra Miller is going to stay as the Flash. Breaking news on that. It just came to me. Going to read the article of the terms and everything, but I had a feeling they were going to keep Ezra Miller because they paid way too much money, and Ezra Miller is a great Flash. But it just goes to show you the double standard. Like, if this was a black man, he with all these reports and allegations, because they're upset with him for him basically calling out the racial intentions or the racial things that were going on. Now, this is when I brought up Ray Fisher. He basically, a pat on the back. He don't have to do nothing now. And you got people coming here saying, when has he been arrested? When has he been convicted? I said the same thing about Deshaun Watson, but y'all said, look at those poor 23 women, 25 women, and all them women are liars. What's up, Nene? Now watch they cut my stream when I start talking about Ray Fisher. Y'all gonna give this man a pass. This man could do all the antics in the world, but he gets a pass. So he basically will be able to do everything after the Flash. Now, let's say the Flash, I think the Flash is going to be a hit. Once it's a hit, now he's going to be allowed to do whatever he wants. And then they would compare him to Robert Downey Jr. because Robert Downey Jr. got the same pass he did. When I started mentioning Robert Downey Jr., you see, people forget Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr. was a drug addict. He was kicked out of Hollywood. They cut my video off because I was exposing this Warner Brothers Discovery. And if you watch how Snyder went back and gave the full movie that he made compared to Whedon and Geoff and Suehara, you see Cyborg was in all the scenes. Everybody raved about how great Ray Fisher was. You know, this is Ray Fisher if you don't know who he is. Okay? Hold on. This is why they cut my live. I'm going to show you guys why they cut my live. Hold on. This is Ray Fisher. Okay, they cut my live. Ray Fisher accuses executives of holding racially discriminatory conversations on Justice League set. See, that's Ray Fisher. Y'all remember him as Cyborg. Hold on. Let me bring him up. Remember him as Cyborg. Now, why would they cut it? They cut it because I start talking about Robert Downey Jr.'s punk ass. Robert Downey Jr. was a drug addict. He was always getting in trouble. Then all of a sudden, they're doing to him what they're doing to Ezra Miller. Look, as Cyborg. He called out the president, Walter Hamada. Somebody came to my page. They were on the live chat. They told me, well, they might as well bring Ray Fisher back. And I knew who Ray Fisher was. As I started talking about it, now let me tell you about Robert Downey Jr. Since all of a sudden they don't want to hold on. You see, when I started mentioning that, see, they don't like all this stuff out there. So let's see. Robert Downey Jr.'s. See, when I started bringing up blacks who wouldn't get the same opportunity, you think if John Boyega would have did this stuff, you think he would have got a pass? Hell no. When I started bringing up like Denzel and all these other guys, John Boyega went through the same thing with Star Wars. How they turned his character into a cry, like a guy always crying for help. So look, Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr. walked out on a British Channel 4 reporter, Krishnan Guru Murthy, after he pressed him on quotes from the actor's checkered past, which he peppered with drug abuse, prison stay, and a traumatic relationship with his father. But they're saying he showed resolve, right? But when they asked Deshaun Watson about his stuff and he needs all this help, right? But if you ask him about his past or anything, oh, it's a problem. But see, they were asking Kobe. They were talking about Kobe's past. Every time they bring Kobe up, they bring up his past. But every time they bring Robert Downey Jr. up, they never mention his past. And they're going to do the same thing with Ezra Miller. Watch what I tell you. If this was John Boyega, if John Boyega was doing all this crazy stuff that Ezra Miller is doing, he'll be out. But when I brought up that Ray Fisher incident, you know what happened? You know what happened, right? You know what happened? They turned my live stream off. They turned it off. They just cut it. I didn't even know it was cut. I was still reading. You understand? And then they've been sending all of these spammers to my page. They've been doing everything they can to try to mess my page up, to try to shut me down and everything. And see, this is my problem. Why is Ezra Miller? Ezra Miller should be banned from being the Flash. He should be banned from any movie. He should be forced to go get help. He should be forced to get looked at, just like they did Deshaun Watson. They did Deshaun Watson the same way. All you coons and all you crackers were out there like, man, he needs to get help for them women. What about Ezra Miller? He wasn't convicted or anything, was he? But see, he was arrested. Deshaun Watson was never arrested. Deshaun Watson was never done dirty. But see, when I started mentioning that and bringing that up, you know what they did? They cut my live stream. They cut it off. They just cut my live stream off. But you know, guys like LB and everybody gonna be like, man, they not messing with you, man. They just have bad servers. Okay, they got bad servers for me, but with the people that they got as the top 5 YouTubers on the planet, which are majority white, you don't see a problem with that? Look, let me show y'all something. I'm going to show y'all something. I'm going to tell y'all the truth. Because I think a lot of times you guys see the truth, but I think you guys don't pay attention to the truth because y'all want to be stuck in this bullshit ass world. So let me show you. This is why I be mad. This is why I be pissed off. This is why at times I be like, man, F YouTube. Okay? I'm going to show you this. Welcome to the DZ Report. Don't you know I love haters? All right. Gonna listen to this article here. These are the highest paid YouTube star ever. So here we go.
Mr. Beast ranks as highest paid YouTube star.
So do you see this? Look at this. Carcino, shout out to Carcino for life. He did something about this. So I went to, do my own research and look at it. Look at this. What do you see out of all the top YouTubers? Do you see any black people on here? But do you see, are their pages getting messed with? Are their pages getting sabotaged? Look at it. Look at these guys. Are their pages getting sabotaged? You guys are probably like, man, I don't know these people. No. That's the point. You're not supposed to know. You guys don't understand is that this is what we're fighting against. And it pisses me off when people, I'm not pissed off at LB. LB just is LB. But I'm pissed off with majority of people because you guys think we're making this shit up. And I'm not making this shit up. YouTube has been messing with my page. They have done everything to mess with me. They gave me a damn strike because I was telling the truth about a white boy who was practically lying on Mike Tyson, trying to make it seem like Mike Tyson was bad and everything and mean and stuff. No, he wasn't. Mike Tyson got tired of your shit and hit you in the mouth. But see, when I start mentioning Ray Fisher, when I start mentioning the people out there like what Ray was going through and like how John Boyega, you know what I'm saying? John Boyega, they did the same thing to him with Star Wars. If John Boyega would be doing everything that Ezra Miller was doing, do you really think he'll still have a chance to be in Hollywood? Hell no. And then you got people out here who are white. Like, shout out to Mr. H Reviews. I love watching Mr. H Reviews because Mr. H Reviews is very fair. You know what I'm saying? For a white man, he's fair. Hopefully one day I could collab with him, talk to him about some stuff because he's into the films as well. But Mr. H Reviews even talked about how Ezra Miller's whole thing has been troubling and like he should be removed. And he should be removed. He should be removed as the Flash immediately. But they're not going to do it because they spent way too much money on the Flash. They spent like damn near like $200 million on the Flash. They're not going to get rid of Ezra Miller. They're going to bring him back. And then if the Flash is a hit, they're definitely keeping him around. They're definitely keeping him around. And then everybody's like, well, he can't Batgirl because of the Latina. Duh. And plus, they only paid $90 million for that movie. That movie isn't going to put a dent in their pocket. What's going to put a dent in their pocket is if they don't do what they're supposed to do with the Flash. If they would have just canned the Flash, you serious? Come on. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is, man. Y'all not stupid, man. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know these damn crackers out here, they get a pass for everything. You know us black folk, man. Black men especially, we ain't finna get no pass for nothing. Y'all know if this was Denzel Washington, if this was John Boyega or anybody, man, do you really think, you know what I'm saying, they would have did that for us? And if you look at the film with Josh Whedon, right, compared to what Zack Snyder did, right? You know what happened? They showed more of Ray Fisher on there. You know why they showed more Ray Fisher on there? So they can back off of the racism and the prejudice because that's what they were getting slammed with. A lot of fans, especially black people, were blasting them for what they were doing to Ray Fisher. But see, this is what happens. They cut my live when I was talking about it. They cut it. You know what I'm saying? But when I'm on my phone, they don't cut my live. But when I'm on my laptop, they done spam my laptop. They done did something to my laptop. And it usually happens when I have those updates. When I have updates, that's when they start messing with my stuff. They mess with it heavy. They mess with it heavy. You understand? They mess with it heavy. And it's bullshit. They cut my junk. They cut my junk off quick. And then all they're going to say is, it's a technical issue and all that crap. Like, that ain't no technical issue. Next time, I'm just going to do it on my StreamYard from my laptop. And when I do it from my StreamYard, I'll be straight. And I've seen a lot of people not using their thing. Punks, dog. I'll tell you, man. It's a dirty business. They be messing up my pixels and everything. And I have a high quality phone. That's what I was trying to tell LB the other night. Shout out to LB anyway. That's my dog. LB so wavy, but you know, me and him be going back and forth, but that's my guy. But I told you, LB, they messing with my page, dog. I'm telling you. I don't be making this stuff up. I know you think I make this stuff up. It's cool that you think that, bro, but I really don't be making this stuff up, bro. I really don't. You know what I'm saying? Robert Downey Jr. walked out of an interview. Okay, here it is. They finna show it.
Enjoy unlimited DVR storage and never worry about hidden fees. I want to say there's less pressure.
Mm-hmm.
And there's more camaraderie.
Fair use sack.
The Iron Man movies in a way that you don't when there's lots of them.
It just comes down. It's just a matter of schedule. I mean, you know, when you're in every shot of something, you know what I mean. Well, it's kind of like doing your own show. You know what I mean? It's not like someone saying, "Hey, I'll do the next interview for you." You know, so you forget. You know, you want to still make sure that you have your arc and your moments, but you're not responsible for the narrative of the whole thing. So it's kind of great, and I genuinely like all the other folks, so that helps.
Well, were you a superhero fan as a child or as a teenager, or?
I suppose as a Westerner, as an American, it's just so part of the kind of kid culture, you know. I wasn't like a nerd about it or anything, you know. But
And you got all these white people defending him walking out. But if that was Deshaun or a black man walking out, they would have been mad.
He's self-made.
Let's see.
He's arrogant in a very appealing way. Is that you do not if you don't want to. You're doing a promotional round.
And that just happened to be my opinion. Are we promoting a movie? 2 hours and
liberal. And I just wondered what you meant by that.
Well, the funny thing is, and I appreciate your point of view, things that you said 5-7 years ago, or things you said in an interview that made sense to you at the time, I could pick that apart for 2 hours and be no closer to the truth than I'd be giving you some half-assed answer right now. I couldn't even really tell you what a liberal is. So therein lies the answer to your question.
The statement sort of stands by itself, doesn't it? I mean, does that mean you're not a liberal, or that you came out of prison not being a liberal?
Are we promoting a movie? To me, the thing is that I'm
see how defensive he getting?
That well, of course it's not. You know, or just as an audience, a monster.
What difference do you think it makes that he's a self-made superhero?
I think more than anything,
unleash this monster.
Right. Well, clearly, are a vulnerable little planet.
And that's why he does what everybody fears, which is unleash this monster.
Right. Well, clearly he doesn't do it to unleash a monster. It's co-opted. There's a couple points in the script that I think is the reason that Age of Ultron is actually a worthy companion to Avengers, and in some ways a better film, in that it takes the conventions and it twists and retwists them in a way that's kind of clever. Just as an audience member, I'm like, oh, that's really
Iron Man. What do you think of the obvious parallels being made between you and Iron Man?
The parallels.
It's natural, but if you'd asked me in the first Iron Man, I'd be like, that's me. And now I've realized that, of course it's not, you know. I'm not saying that I'm such a fantasist that I felt like I was Tony Stark, but I felt like it was my persona.
He is Tony Stark. He was a drunk.
He's becoming a much more likable character as well, isn't he?
I suppose
a better man.
Yeah, he's becoming a better guy.
In a way that you are as well, I suppose.
Sure.
Heard that?
I mean, what I'd really like to ask you about a quote you gave to the New York Times, and I don't want to pry, so if you don't want to talk about it, that's fine. But what you said to the New York Times once was, it was after your incarceration, and you said you can't go from a $2,000 a night hotel suite to a penitentiary and understand it and come out a liberal. And I just wondered what you meant by that.
Well, the funny thing is, and I appreciate your point of view, things that you said 5-7 years ago, or things you said in an interview that made sense to you at the time, I could pick that apart for 2 hours and be no closer to the truth than I'd be giving you some half-assed answer right now. I couldn't even really tell you what a liberal is. So therein lies the answer.
I couldn't tell you what a liberal
The
is.
statement sort of stands by itself, doesn't it? I mean, does that mean you're not a liberal, or that you came out of prison not being a liberal?
Are we promoting a movie? To me, the thing is that it's...
You hear that, right?
He's
getting defensive. But what if that was a black man going through what Robert Downey Jr. was? You know what white people will say? He needs to answer the question and stop passing it off. That's why they hate my channel. Because I call out the bullshit double standard. And then he's going to walk out the interview like a little pompous brat. That's all they do.
That's the nice thing, is you can have opinions. And
you see, they can mess up. They can get drunk. They can be druggies. They can be accused of something. But guess what? They get a second chance in the eyes of America. Or I call American. The land of the white man. The home of the slaves, which are the black men. Y'all think I'm lying? All right. Watch this. Since he wants to be all mad at that and stuff, oh, he's in his feelings, oh, he got feelings. Hell out of here. Soft-ass white boy. White, see, that's what I'm saying. If they went through the same thing we went through, they wouldn't survive. So, hold on. I'm going to show y'all something. And see, this is all they do. All right, let's see. All right, here it is. Listen to this. I'm gonna play this for you. Hold on.
Every single penny, no matter what the number is. And when you look at his 3.5 years,
fair use sack.
He has the fourth most wins through 49 starts, and will add to that in a tough AFC North in a few weeks' time. Jackson spoke with our senior NFL
alongside Baltimore Ravens starting quarterback Lamar Jackson. And Lamar, it seems like every time I see you, you're getting a little bigger, getting a little thicker, a little muscular.
Yeah.
I hear that you don't like working out, though. Tell me about that.
Who said that?
Sources.
What sources? I don't know about that. I had to do something to get this size, you know.
That's true. That's true.
What
all are you doing in the gym right now?
A little bit of everything, you know, legs, arms, the usual. You know, just eating right. That's all.
Yeah. Are you still as fast as you have always been?
Yeah, I think so. I just didn't have to show it yet. So you're gonna see when the season comes.
Yeah.
So did Lamar Jackson disrespect? Did he walk out of the interview? Did he walk away? He was asked a dumb question. Let's see the comments. You know what he was trying to basically say? He basically was trying to imply that Lamar Jackson does steroids or PEDs, allegedly. That's why he was saying, every time I see you, you're getting big, and I heard you don't like working out. You know what that means, right? They're doing all of this. You understand? But see, this is what it is now. Did he walk out of the interview? No. But see, I'm just showing you the double standards. Let me see. Tom Brady's allowed to go off. Like, white quarterbacks are allowed to call off. All right, here it is right here.
This local reporter just absolutely destroyed Carson Wentz. Take a listen.
Been kind of a narrative out there here in training camp that you've been a little inaccurate on your throws. Consistently inconsistent has been a kind of a terminology. How would you assess your performance in training camp, and is that characterization fair? It's been well documented. Philly didn't want you. Indy didn't want you. Do you think this is your last chance to prove that you can be a starting quarterback in the NFL?
I mean, I get it. I hate Carson Wentz as well, and I think he sucks. But, I mean, you're a local reporter, dude. You cover the team, and you're just...
Oh, you're a local reporter, dude. You cover the team. No, this is the questions they've been asking black athletes, black entertainers, black people in general. You white honkies can't handle when somebody put a foot up your ass. Oh, I'm pissed right now because they cut my live short. I was finna go in on Ezra Miller because I think that's complete bullshit. He's allowed to do a movie. He's allowed to still be kept. But if this was Deshaun Watson or John Boyega or Denzel Washington or Samuel L. Jackson, if they would have done this, oh my goodness, it would have been magnified 100, right? Would have been magnified 100. So like I said, YouTube, F you, and I'm going to keep making videos. Y'all can take away my monetization. Y'all can short me on my income and not pay me for a month and let it roll over to another month. Y'all can do whatever y'all want to do, but guess what? I'm still going to be here. Thank you guys for listening. I'm out. And it's DZ.